hopefully get this going. All right, I think we are live. Welcome to this live stream. We are talking about the Canon EOS R5 C. And so we got some news yesterday. All right, Sir Klopslot shoots the 7D Mark I. He's on Instagram. Sir Klopslot, see if you can get over to YouTube. I'm going to shut off this Instagram live in a minute. We are live on YouTube talking about the Canon EOS R5 C. And let me see if I can get my, yep, there we go. 7D Mark I is a great camera. I used to use the 6D Mark I. I love that camera. All right, everybody, we are going to end this and join us on YouTube. All right. Trying to hit finish. Finish. In video. All right, everybody on YouTube, leave a comment and let me know if you're there. I'm going to pull up my chat box here, see if I can monitor discussion while we are live. So thank you for joining. So we are going to be talking about the Canon EOS R5 C, which you can see on the inset of the screen. And I am going to be navigating through some facts, some things that we know and things that we maybe hope come true about the Canon EOS R5 C. So I hope you're doing well wherever you are. Last time we went live, I had been in a 6th grade classroom substituting because we had a shortage of teachers in our school district, but things have gotten a little bit better. So I hope you're doing well. Leave me a comment. Let me know where you're watching from, and let's get this started. We're gonna talk through some of the things that we know about the Canon EOS R5 C. All right, so thanks for joining. So one of the things that we know is it's an R5. I'm live streaming on the R5 right now, and that camera was launched in July of 2020. I picked it up in about March, April of 2021. And so it's going to have everything photographically about the R5, but it's also going to add unlimited video recording. So it's going to have the Cinema EOS menu options, and it's also going to have a large cooling system. So you can see the vent on the side here. I don't know if you can see my cursor right there, but you can see the vent on the side, and that is going to help the camera stay cool and have it unlimited recording time. Now it's going to have dual card slots, SD and CF Express, just like the Canon EOS R5. It's going to have a 3.2-inch variable angle LCD monitor and a high definition 5.76 million dot viewfinder. So that's a really powerful setup there. I think the big thing that we're seeing with this camera is it's adding a cooling system, and we kind of know all the things that we heard about the Canon R5 had trouble overheating. I've used mine in such a way that I've overheated it a couple times. It's not fun, especially if you're on a gig. It's not fun to know that you're limited. And so we're going to see that it has a kind of an expanded body on the back that is actually made for, there's an additional cooling element. So there's a top-down view we're going to get to. And hey, John Klopping in the house. Everybody give it up for John. It's good to see you, John. John, do you, I remember we talked a little bit, do you shoot, do you do video? I know you've been in acting and film production and theater production, but let me know in the comments if you're shooting right now and what you use. And it's good, I'm glad you're here hanging out. And so it has this cooling element on the back. So we're gonna get to some other pictures and we're gonna see that. Leave me a chat, comment in the chat, and let me know where you're watching from. All right, so we are back here. We're going to kind of cycle through these pictures. So here's the side view. So we have everything, the mic port, the headphone port. I actually had to look up this bottom port with the lightning bolt that is a PC like strobe connection. So if you want to wire to your strobes in the studio, my understanding, I've only used wireless strobe triggers. So mine, oh, well, that's not true. I used to use one with a cable, but oh, John Klopping is Sir Klops a lot on Instagram. It all makes sense now. So the little lightning bolt at the bottom of the mic and the headphone, that is a strobe cable. And then we have the USB-C and the HDMI out. And so those are just like the R5. But you'll notice up and to the right, and we're going to see a slide of this later, there's a time code out. So you can help sync up if you have multiple cameras. All right, so we got another viewer. Hey, leave a comment in the chat right now. Leave a comment in the chat and let me know where you're watching from. Now, I'll always say on my YouTube videos, well, almost always, you're a beautiful person and a good person. And if no one has told you that today, let me be the first one to tell you that. All right, so I can't leave that out of a live stream. So here's the thing, is not only are we seeing an additional cooling element, but the R5 C can record uninterrupted nonstop clips in 8K. So that's one spec, up to 60 frames per second, and raw video. So it's crazy kind of a jump in technology beyond even the Canon C70, which we have two of at work, but 8K. So you have to ask yourself who not only needs that, who wants it, and who can actually edit it. So that's a good question. John Klopping in the comments, he says he uses 7D Mark I for theater production photos and director interviews. Nice. So John, I'm interested in what kind of audio you're using when you do interviews. Do you have a wireless mic, a shotgun mic? Leave a comment, let me know. That's good stuff. So this cooling system is it's going to help that 8K recording stay cool. So there is 8K in the R5, but it's really, they say, I'm reading this Petapixel article, they say it's for marketing purposes only, and it's kind of a joke for realistic. So let's go to some other photos. Let's see, what else do we know about this? So here's kind of the back angle. You can see the hinge on the back screen. You can see the rating button is outlined in red, and I have the rating button on my R5, but I don't believe it's outlined in red, so I wonder if it's another record button, possibly. Then the menu button, everything there looks standard, so let's just jump ahead. John said, no kidding. But I don't know what he said that about. But anyways, John, leave me a comment. Let me know. We have 4 people watching. Woohoo! Live stream going crazy tonight. So here's another angle, and this is just the door for the memory card. Inside is a CFast and an SD card, pretty standard. You can see the inset, the strap holder, or the link on the body at the top where the strap goes is kind of flush. I think it's stuck out from the body a little bit. Mark, thanks for joining. I saw your comment. The 8K is interesting. I'd have to get an entirely new computer. And yeah, it just boggles the mind, Mark. An 8K, I just upgraded to the Mac Mini. And I don't know. I don't know if it's gonna do 8K, but you know what? I do have the R5, so I'll test the Mac Mini. I just got set up. I've used it a couple weeks now. So we will check out 8K editing of the R5 on the Mac Mini. But the EOS R5 C will have uninterrupted, unlimited record time for 8K RAW up to 60 frames per second. It's crazy. It's crazy. John in the comments says he used a Rode shotgun mic and then picked up the Sormonic Wireless Labs. I've heard good things about them. You've yet to use them? So use them. Those are great mics, I've heard. All right, let's take a little different look at another angle here. Hopefully these illustrations are helpful. Honestly, I went to the Petapixel article. I have a Chrome extension called Download All Images, and I just hit it. I grabbed all their images, and I just wanted to use these to talk through as we're rotating through the camera. Oh, got it, John. Yes, no kidding. Yes, it is. Mark, I see your question. I'm thinking. Buying time. So it is 8K unlimited. So it's kind of unfathomable. Mark says, would you buy this over the R3? I feel like the big draw for the R3 is speed, and this is cinema power. And so I don't find myself doing a lot of still photography where I need the speed. So I would probably opt towards this. I think price-wise is the R3 around $4,500. Somebody comment, Google it, comment, let me know if that's about right. I think this is about $600 more than the R5. So, yeah. So, all right. So, good. Thanks. There's people in. Leave me a comment. Let me know where in the world you're watching from. So here, okay, this angle is really a trip, I think, because when I started using the Canon C70, again, we have a couple at work, and so they have these numbered buttons like 1 through 12 that are programmable. And so here you see on the back of essentially an R5 body, you can see number 4, number 3, number 2, and number 1. Let me get over here, see if I can I enlarge this for all of you? No, I can't. All right, I tried to zoom in a little bit. But those numbers are programmable cinema camera functions like white balance, and you can adjust things like toggling on and off a false color. Raphael in the house. Hey, if you're interested in cameras and filmmaking, go follow Raphael. Click on his channel, subscribe. Happy Wednesday, Raphael. You're an inspiration, and I love what you're doing on your channel. So thanks for dropping in. So all these customizable, programmable buttons on the side are cool from my perspective. Like when I use the Canon C70, I really thought like this is kitted out to be a film production camera. Like I can customize all these things. So now we see that incorporated into the R5, but we're still getting to, yes, they added cooling, but there's something else that we're gonna see what that does when we get to the top-down view. Okay, this is essentially the back of the R5. Again, and Raphael, maybe you know this, there's a red ring around the rating button, and I was just wondering if that's another possible record on and off button. I don't know if you know that. And everything is essentially the same as the body of the R5 right here. So we're going to keep moving on. All right, so here is my main ergonomic kind of consideration is I love the fact that they have a dedicated on-off photo video button, or switch rather. See that on the top left? I love that. I think the on-off switch is underutilized. It's just on-off. You can easily toggle it straight into photo mode or video mode. Whereas the R5, you have to hit mode, then you have to hit another info button on the back, and then you select on your camera. And so it's kind of, it's not a pain, but they could have made it a little easier to switch from photo mode to video mode. However, as sweet as that is, look at the big sizable bump below that. So your hand's on the back of the camera, and now you have to hook your thumb up around to switch from photo to video. So I don't know if it's as easy to reach as it is easy to read. So you can read, it's very clear, it seems simple. I just don't know if it's going to be something that you could switch into blind. You probably have to, rotate your camera, look, and flip. Again, on the top we see the numbered function buttons that are customizable. So that's, again, something cool. Hey, we got 6 people on the live stream. Leave me a comment. Let me know where you're watching from. Again, the discussion is about the Canon EOS R5 C, which is essentially kind of an R5 stills camera combined with an 8K unlimited recording machine. Also 4K 120. And I think I saw the bit rate was 422. I think the thing that stuck with me is it's 12-bit, and so that was something that I hadn't seen. I think the C70 is only 10-bit. So there's a time code terminal. We talked about that. I'll go flash back to that that view. So there's a timecode terminal kind of above the USB port right there. And then there's a multi-function shoe that allows compatibility with first and third party accessories like the Xlr Mic input. So let's get a view of that, shall we? Boom, boom. All right, so you can actually put this on. It has XLR inputs, and then that's a great benefit, and you can record WAV files directly, and so that's a benefit over the R5, and so that's expanded the game in terms of audio production. So going down from this top down view, I thought one of the disadvantages of that cool dedicated switch is it's not placed right at the edge where you can get to it with your thumb easily. But let's go back into this view. Now, is there anything new for us in this view? I think we've already looked at that. We've looked at the body of the camera without a lens. I don't see anything new here, so let's move forward. So here's the time code out without the little rubber cap, so you can see that where that is. And then we talked about the audio. Now, one of the things they said is you can plug this into the wall. You can get a live stream going with power from the wall. And we've used this dummy battery setup when we have done multi-camera productions at work with the EOS Rs, and I've had great experiences with that. So I would say this is a surefire. I saw something in the comments or in the P2Pixel article that they didn't know if that was a great solution. I've had good luck with it. Let me jump into the comments here. Yeah, Raphael said, so they took away IBIS. So it's kind of like the C70 in terms of a cinema camera without IBIS. They figure you're going to stabilize it some other way. That didn't delight me, honestly. So Raphael, thanks for bringing that up. That was one of the things that I guess made me hesitate. You said you were confused. I definitely hesitated because I want that in a camera. I want stabilization. And then all the things that we loved about the R5, they took away IBIS and autofocus. Hey, show me some love. Hit the like button. Hey, yeah, give me a thumbs up. That's great. Thanks, Raphael, for saying that. Okay, and Mark says you can't record video in the photo mode and vice versa. That's interesting. Yeah, like in the R, if I'm in photo mode and I hit the record button, it goes straight into recording. But here, you think you're not able to have that workflow. That's interesting. I think I would need hands-on to actually see that and experience that. Because right now, if I'm in my R5 photo mode, I can hit record and start recording. I believe. I'll have to check that. I'm live streaming with the R5 right now, so I'll have to check that after I get off. Okay, we've been on the stream for 17, 18 minutes, so we're gonna do 2 minutes. We're gonna drive it home here. Again, the dummy battery I think is a great solution. Use this in a studio. I could see this as a studio camera on sticks, multi-camera production. So the lack of the IBIS doesn't bother me. The dummy battery, you've got a production going. But I don't know why then. Is it just the price point? It's like the still photography ability of the R5 doesn't really make sense for that test case, So, hey, Toward Media, welcome. It's not true. You can hit record and just records. Awesome. So even if you're in photo mode on the photo switch on the EOS R5 C, and it's in photo mode, Toward Media verified, or at least told us that you can just hit record. That makes sense. That's the way the R5 is. All right, we're going to drive it home here. Here's a front view of the battery grip on it. So lots of battery life there. If you're into that sort of thing, this looks pretty bulky and heavy, kind of like the C70. But I've used the C70 for some mini documentary work, and it's a joy. It's a joy with the top handle. Oops. That's one thing we actually don't see here is a top handle. So you have to outfit it with a cage. So I don't know. Maybe the C70 style handle would just, we'll see. Let's go back to that top-down view and see what kind of, yeah, the C70, it actually has like a threaded configuration there, so you can bolt that top handle in and secure it. All right, kind of disappointed. So you have to outfit it with a cage and all that. So we are 8 people strong on the live stream. So thank you for tuning in. We're going to take it home here. This is our final fling here. And then I'm going to tell you, somebody asked me, would I buy it instead of the R3? And I said yes, but I'll tell you what I think about it also. All right, here's our final slide picture of that full frame sensor. And then you can see the programmable 12 button on the front. On the C70, I have that set to false color, which is a nice way to see. We have comments going back and forth. You can hit the record button and it just records in photo mode. Mark says that he's wrong. So we're stuck. It's an impasse. I will have to, let me just skim through this Petapixel article and see if there's any more light to be shed on that. We've talked about, well, there's a bunch of different cinema formats or codecs, raw light. They talk about that. I feel like most people on the channel are photographers, and so I don't know that the people who have been watching the channel would be interested in the codec. So I'm gonna skip past that. But it does do 4K 120 frames per second, 422, 10-bit, no crop. So that's all good news. And I think somewhere I read 12-bit, so I could be mistaken on that. No IBIS, we've talked about that. It says a truly dual function photo and video camera. Again, if you're doing dedicated professional video work that you need something like this for, then I feel like you're not also trying to get photos out of that camera because you're so focused on that. I could be wrong. Somebody tell me in the chat that I'm wrong. All right, so we're going to wrap it up. Pricing and availability. It's coming March 2022, so barely a month and a half away, and it's $4,500. So I'll say, Torde Media, I love you guys working it out in the comments. So thank you for that. And so I would say for me, I would probably go, and here's the big thing that justifies what I'm about to say. I would go with this C70. I've shot with it. I love it. It's a great camera, and it's got built-in ND filters. And that's one of the things that I think if you're out there filming, it's so simple to take your production anywhere, and you don't forget them. You don't have different lenses that you're like, I don't have the right ND filter. So those are maybe minor concerns, but I felt when I just flipped through the ND filters on the C70, it's been great for making my production easy. So I would go with the C70. Now, that camera is, I think, is it $59.99? It's like $6,000. So that's the only kind of quibble there, is this is $1,500 less. But I don't need 8K. I don't know. But it's tough. I think I'll stick with my R5. I'll just stick with my R5. All right, so thank you everybody for joining. Please leave me a comment and let me know where in the world you're watching from. Thanks for taking time out to look through some of the specs and some of the images of the EOS R5 C. And this was cool. Thanks for hanging out. We'll do it again. I'm looking to do a live stream on the channel about once a week. I think one of the next things I'll do is I borrowed, is it here? It is here. The last live stream I did, we unboxed a GFX 100S from Fuji. It's a 100 megapixel camera that they loaned me for a little bit, not that long. And I think the next live stream I'll go and take do some pixel peeping and some editing of these 200 megabyte RAW files. It's insane. It's insanity. Okay, one last thing. I'm going to read Raphael's last comment. Canon's response to the FX3. Yeah. I don't know if this doesn't entice me. Just from what I'm seeing, I don't think they did a better job than the FX3. But I'm not a Sony fan. I'm not even a Sony fan, and I would say I would do the C70 or the FX3. I don't think I would mess with the EOS R5 C. John Klopping, good event. Yeah, it's a good live stream camera. But you know what? If you're doing a live event and you're putting stuff on tripods, the EOS R does everything. That's what we produce, everything during the pandemic, where we did all our multi-cam productions for the school district. We had 3 EOS Rs, and we filmed, half a day multi-cam productions, and then edited them at night and sent them out the next day, and all day, every day with the EOS R for $1,500. I don't think. Well, this is a whole other type of camera, but for like a live event, I would just trust the EOS R. Anyways, thanks for joining, everybody. Give me a shout out in the comments, leave me a like, and subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed. You're probably subscribed. I don't know how you found this video if you weren't subscribed, but make sure you find Raphael in the comments. Go subscribe to his channel, and he's a great source of information for photo and video. And have a good night, everybody. We'll see you next time. And here's the awkward moment where I try to end the live stream. Yep.